Good afternoon to all of you. Please tell that I'm audible or not.
Audible, sir.
Yes, thank you for replying. As I'm audible, so we'll start our lecture. But before that, let's wait for a few minutes so that all of you can join the lecture in time. Okay. I request you all that join the lecture within time. After that, I won't allow anybody within 5 to 10 minutes. Please join to this meeting. There are 38 students in your class and the joint participants are 22. So other students are also there who haven't joined to this meeting yet. Let them join, then within 2 minutes we'll start our lecture. Okay. Let me share the screen. Please tell me if the screen is visible or not.
No, sir.
Now, is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have shared the screen with you. So as it is visible, so let's start with the lecture. Okay. So from last 2 lectures, we are discussing about the importance of English language in the communication. And we also have seen that what is the language, why is it necessary to learn English language, what's the importance of this language. So in the last 2 lectures we were discussing about that and we have discussed about that. Okay, so yes, in the first lecture we have seen that what is the language, why do we learn English language, okay, and reasons to learn English language. So these 3 points we have discussed in the first lecture. Okay, so language is nothing but what? Medium of communication with which we speak or we communicate with each other or the person whom we want to communicate with. Okay, so that's why we use the medium, that is the medium of language, to speak or to communicate with each other. Okay, and for a proper communication the requirement of proper communication is medium. Okay, and the medium here we are using medium of language. Okay, so language comes as a medium for the communication between the two people, or between a one person and the mob or group. Okay, so that's why language is the most important aspect in our life. And why do we learn it? To get a job. Okay, to get a job, or to get a handful amount of salary, or to get uh, uh, means to get a status. Okay, to get a good status in life, to live a good life, we generally learn any language. And in that, English is also the most important language that we learn for the uh, job purpose, or for getting good marks. Okay, and this was the language which was brought up by Britishers in India. Okay, so Britishers ruled more than 150 years on India, and they left this language here. Okay, all the wealth of India they looted, they grabbed, but they couldn't uh, grab this language. They left here itself. Okay, and whatever the developments, like train, or whatever the uh, different buildings they built here, they left here itself because they couldn't move them to their countries. Okay, so that's why Britishers were the founders of this language, and they brought up this language in India, also in many countries like US, United States, Canada, Australia. Okay, and African countries. They brought up this language, and they taught this language to the people of that countries for the purpose of good governance, or for the betterment of governance. They brought up this language there, and we learned this language for getting job. Okay, so our ancestors, or we can say that in Marathi, आपले जे आपल्या आधीच्या पिढ्या होत्या. Okay, so that people learned this language for getting job. Okay, and they brought this language for getting ease, or त्यांचा जो कारभार आहे तो सोपा व्हावा म्हणून त्यांनी काय केलं, आपल्याला ही लँग्वेज शिकवली. ओके, so that was their reason they brought up this language in India and many countries. So currently, English is primary language of not only the countries actively touched by British impression, means it is the not only the language which on which countries the Britishers ruled, but also the countries where Britishers not ruled. This language is used as the language of communication. Okay, so this is that is why we learn this language. And also some of the reasons, like this is the language of Hollywood, so many of the movies of Hollywood are dubbed with this language. They are using this language. Also, this language is the language of international banking and business. Okay, so international banking and business means what? The business that happens between two countries. Okay, business that happens between two countries uh, that are foreign. Okay, means business between India and European countries, banking between India and US, or China, or Asian countries, or African countries, or American continent, or European countries. Okay, European Union. These are some of the uh, business or banking related areas where the English has been used from many years. Okay, So that's why it is the language of Hollywood. Also, this language is used for the international banking and business. So that's why we learn this language. Another reason that we have seen is the globalization. So as globalization has covered each and every aspect of our life, okay, we are uh, surrounded with the globalization and its effect, and also we are getting the fruits, means in the form of different developments. Okay, so as I'm conducting this lecture from here in the classroom and you are listening to it from your home itself, this is also the fruits of globalization that you are benefited with. Okay, so globalization also has covered all the aspects of our life, and that's why this language should be learned. Okay, another reason to learn this language is it will uh, yes, without the proper communication, and without a proper communication in English, it is not possible to be in a connection. Okay, so for getting connected with each other, for getting a proper contact with each other, it is necessary to learn this language for getting in contact or getting in communication for communication purpose. Okay, this is also one of the reason. And the last reason that that's why we learn in this language is the this language is also called as the universal language. Okay, this language is also called as the universal language or universally accepted language. Means in all over the world we are using this language as the language of communication. Okay, we are using this language as a language of communication. For communication purpose we are using this. So that's why we have this language, we learn this language. Okay, so these are some of the reasons that's why we learn the English language. Let's see the next point. Just a minute. Okay, so that's why we do learn this language. Okay, these are the reasons. So let's see another reasons to learn this language. Okay, so first is it is essential for work. Means what? If you want to get a job, a good salary in the job, it is essential to learn this language, to speak this language with our colleagues, with our seniors, with our juniors. Okay, so this is the first reason. The second one is it is the universal language. That's also we have discussed in the last lecture. Okay, universal means what? Vaishvik. In Marathi we may call it as Vaishvik, means in all over the world we are speaking, we are using this language. Okay, for the communication purpose. Okay, and no other language is as much used as this language. Okay, so English is the most used language for communication, and that's why it becomes the universal language. The third reason to learn this language is it will open the doors of new cultures. So if we want to study different cultures, okay, if we want to study, if we want to know the different cultures from many countries, many different countries, this language helps us to learn new cultures. This language helps us to get uh, the information of that new cultures. Okay, so that's why this is the language which is used for the communication. Then fourth reason is you will travel comfortably. Means what? If you are known with this language, if you know this language very well, you can speak this language with the people, then it will become very easy to travel to foreign countries or to the countries where the other languages are spoken. Means what? If you go to the tour of the European countries, means what? If you go to the tour on France or England or Spain or Italy, okay? So you will travel comfortably there if you know this language, you know how to speak this language, then you will speak with them with this language, you will communicate with them, and you will get the access of different facilities, okay? And if you don't know, then it will become difficult to you to communicate with them. Means the people from those countries, they only know either their own language or they will speak with you in English language, but they don't use your language, that is Marathi or Hindi or any other language, okay? That's why this language should be learned for uh, traveling purpose, means for making our journey comfortable, okay? Then the next reason is it is the most open language. So I have also discussed this point. This is the language which is most open, okay? Means some of the words from different languages may be added in this language. So from Hindi or Indian languages, the words added in this language are, means words like roti or juggi, okay? So these are the words which are added to this language. This language is also the language of art and literature. Means what? The many literary figures, means Rabindranath Tagore. I have taken example of Rabindranath Tagore, okay? So Rabindranath Tagore, what he did, he translated whatever literature he has been written, okay? He had written in uh, Bengali language, he translated that literature to English language, and it becomes easy for the whole world, or it becomes the easy for the people from different countries to read his literature, okay? And that's why that literature get accessed by all over the world, and uh, that's why he got the Nobel Prize for his poetic collection, that is Gitanjali. Okay, so that's why this language is also used for the art and literature. Okay, so this is also one of the reason. And the last reason is it eliminates the language weaknesses. Means what? If you are able to speak this language, then whatever the language weaknesses or other weaknesses are there, it will eliminated, it will get eliminated by using this language. So these are some of the reasons to learn this language, okay? Have you understood this? समझ लगा है? This is the very basic topic we are talking about, okay? Then we also have discussed about the importance and need of English language, okay? So for exchanging our thoughts and ideas, it is important to learn this language. It is important to be known with this language, okay? So this also is the importance and need of the language. Then uh, for the globalization purpose also this language is very important, so that's why we come close to each other, or we are maintaining the contact with each other, okay? So these are the fruits of globalization that we are taking benefit of, okay? So this is also the one of the importance and need of the English language. Then the next point that we have discussed was English as the international common tongue. Means what? English as the international common tongue means what? The when two peoples meet each other, okay, when two peoples from different countries, means take an example of a person who is from India or from Sri Lanka or Bangladesh, and a person who belongs to the country like America or England or Ireland, okay. So when these two people came in front of each other, okay, when these two people come in front of each other, what will they do if they don't contact or if they don't communicate with each other by using this language? Is it possible for them to maintain a contact or maintain a communication between each other? Is it possible? It becomes very impossible. Okay, it becomes impossible to maintain a contact or to be in a contact with each other if they won't speak a common tongue or a common language that both of them can understand. Okay, so there are means several factors that make this language as a common tongue, international common tongue. Means what? तर आपण ही लँग्वेज कशासाठी वापरू शकतो? तर इंटरनॅशनल कॉमन टंग मीन्स व्हॉट? तर एक कॉमन लँग्वेज, समजा एक person, suppose one person belongs to India and another person belongs to England, okay, or give that person as the nationality of Italy, okay. So Indian person only knows the Hindi language or his regional language, and that Italian person only knows the Italian language. Then when if they wants to make a communication with each other, what will they do? Will they use the or is it possible for them to make a contact with their own languages? It becomes highly impossible. Why? Because Italian or either Hindi is not an international common tongue. Okay, it is not an international common tongue. And which is the language which is called an international common tongue? Only English is the language which may call as the international common tongue. Okay, and that's why when two people met from different countries to each other, they usually or they only can use English as a common tongue for the communication. Okay, and they cannot use their own language or regional language for speaking purpose or for making a contact with each other. Okay, and that's why this language is also called as the lingua franca. Means what? Connection language. Lingua franca means what? Connection language. This language makes the connection, okay, with a person from east to the person from west. Okay, so keep this point in mind that this language is also called as the lingua franca. Means what? Connection language. Then this language is also called as the language of education. Okay, so this language is also called as the language of education. So all of you know that you are learning this language from your childhood itself. Okay, you are learning this language from your childhood. Means तुमच्या लहानपणापासून तुम्ही ही लँग्वेज काय करत आहात तर शिकत आहात. Okay, so we were not that much facilitated. We got the benefit of this language from 5th standard. Okay, when I was in the 5th standard, then this subject was there in English language. But you are quite lucky that from KG itself or from first standard itself, you are learning this language. Okay, so this language also becomes very essential for the field of education. Okay, for the field of education, this language becomes very important. And the majority of the countries, okay, majority of the countries and the governments in that countries are making their children, okay, are making their children to learn this language, or they encourage their children to learn this language as a second language. Okay, second means what? Ter, not a mother tongue. Okay, first language is our mother tongue. First language is called as our mother tongue, and the second language means what? Either it is the uh, subsidiary language, or it may be called as the uh, official language. Okay, so in many countries, the children are taught and encouraged to learn this English language as a second language. And more than 90% of educational subjects, you are you know that you are learning this language from first standard. Okay, so almost 90% of educational subjects are written in English language. Almost 90% of educational subjects. Okay, so you are learning this language from childhood, and many of you are learning with English medium from the first standard itself. Okay, or many of you are learning English as a semi English. Okay, semi English medium from the fifth standard. Okay, so that's why uh, this language has included in our curriculum or syllabus. Okay, also there are some of the countries like Netherlands and Sweden where this is not an official language, or either this is the language or first language they have accepted. Okay, but the educational subjects or the books written or the syllabus written in those countries can also be found in English. Okay, so for science and engineering, okay, for science and engineering, these are the countries like Netherlands and Sweden and other European countries are also using this language for making these subjects more easy for their students. Okay, so that's why this language is the language of education. Also, in the language of education, another point we can say that because the dominance of this language has become the language of the sciences, and most of the research studies, okay, most of the researches and the studies, okay, researches and the studies you will find in this language. Okay, so if you want to make any type of research, then this language will help you to find that research on the Google or the resources that are related to the Google. Okay, so that's why this language is also the dominant language for the sciences and technology. At the university level, students in many countries study this language, and they use English as the medium of writing. Okay, medium of education or medium of writing. This for the medium of writing, they are choosing English as a language. Okay, so that's why this is the language of education. Then the next point, next slide is that we are going to study is travel and business. Okay. Next slide is travel and business. So this is also the called as the language for the travel and business. Okay. So for the business purpose or for traveling purpose, we are all over the world, this language uh, has been used from many years. Okay, so the first point in that is, with good understanding and communication in English, you can travel around the globe. So if you are having the good communication skills in English, okay, if you understand this language well, then it becomes easy for you people to travel around the globe, to travel around the globe. Means what? If you want to travel around the different countries, if you want to travel around the world, and if you are having knowledge, good knowledge of the communication in English, if you understand this language very well, then the traveling becomes easy, traveling becomes healthy, happy for you people. Okay, so for the international traveling also, okay, international traveling means if you are traveling internationally uh, to the different countries, then also this language can help you and make your efforts easy. Okay, so this is one of the point. Then second point is, English skills will also help you in any business venture you choose to follow. Means if you are having the communication skills in English, then you can follow any of the your business venture, or you can follow, or you can grow your business with the help of this language. Okay, so if you visit some offices, companies, okay, if you visit some offices, companies, governmental organizations, engineering companies, you will see the importance of English. Okay, when you visit, okay, when you will visit the uh, MNCs, multinational companies or IT companies, when you go there in Pune and you will visit any company regarding the information and technology, or uh, CSE, or mechanical, or civil, electrical, electronics and telecom company. Okay, so all of the branches and their related companies are there in Pune. Okay, or Bengaluru, okay, or Hyderabad, you will find them. And if you wish to visit those companies, okay, if you wish to visit those companies, the you will have to take prior permission of those companies. Okay, you will have to take prior permission. तुम्हाला पूर्व परवानगी त्यांची काढावी लागेल. For what? For the reason of visiting and want to see that company. If you want to see that company, how that company works, how the employees of that company work there, how they manage the different workloads. Okay, so for getting the knowledge of that, you will have to visit the companies, and you will find that the staff or employees of that offices or companies or governmental organizations are speaking in English language. Okay, they will not speak with you in your regional language or in mother tongue. Okay, in your mother tongue they won't speak. they will start speaking with you in English language, and if you don't reply to them with this language or with the use of this language, then it becomes a bad impression of you on those people. Means they can understand that you don't have the knowledge of English language, how to speak this English or how to communicate with this language, you don't know. They will understand this and they will not uh, uh, entertain you when you want to join that company. If you want to join as an employee of that company, they won't ask you for the job. Okay, why? Because you are not competent enough in using this language. Okay, so you will find that there is very much importance of this language for the communication purpose. Okay, for the communication purpose there is much and more importance of this language. Then yes, the third point, in the third point of this slide, they have discussed about it. Any big company will hire their professional staff after getting to know whether people they are hiring are good at English or not. Any big company will hire their professional, means what? They will hire you, okay? They will hire you people or that professional staff, their professional staff, they will hire only after knowing that whether the person or whether the people they are hiring, okay, they want to hire are good at English or not. Can they or are they able to use English as a language for communication? They will check it. Okay, they will check it and they will only hire you if you are able to use this language for the communication purpose. That's why this language should be used or this language should be learned for getting a good job. Okay, so international companies means international or multinational companies will only hire their professional after getting to know that whether that employee students, please tell me that if my voice audible or not.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So there was some network problem. Okay, network has interrupted, and that's why our meeting gets disturbed. Okay, so we'll start once again the recording of this meeting. Yes, I have started the recording of this meeting. Just a minute.
Okay.
Let me share the screen. Same example I have given in the division E or B. With A seat out of 58 participants, there are 48 participants are giving the answer. Correct answer. Sima is right answer. Sima. Rahul, Masa, check your calculation. Rahul. Once again, I will share the screen. Rahul, please. Yes. Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's proceed further. Okay, so we were discussing about this language as a language of the travel and business. Okay, so for traveling purpose, if we want to travel with comfort in European countries or in all over the world, this language makes us, or this language becomes the important language or connection language or communication language that makes our journey comfortable, easy. Because if we want to uh, talk, or if you want to communicate with a person from other countries or the foreigner, then he will either speak his own language, or he will either speak with you by using the English language. Okay, and it becomes difficult for you people, or it becomes very difficult for that person to understand your language. And the contact or communication, has anybody unmuted his speaker? Please mute speakers. 1 minute. He has unmuted the speaker.
The next uniqueness is limited 0, that is R2 minus 2R1. R2 minus 2R1.
Okay. So we were discussing about the traveling purpose. Means if you want to travel comfortably to the foreign countries, then this language will help you in that purpose. If you want to choose the IT as a profession, okay, IT sector or information technology sector as your profession, then the companies, okay, big companies, IT companies like Wipro, TCS, Cognizant, okay, Cummins, or Capgemini. These are the big names in the IT sector, and that companies will only hire if you are good at your educational background. Okay, they will check your educational background also, and they will check your abilities to communicate with the others. Okay, so these are the two factors they will check. Either they will check your background, educational background, how much you are intelligent, how much workload you can bear. That also will be checked by those companies, and how much your conversation abilities or communication skills are developed, that also they will check for their job purpose, or if they want to hire you. Okay, so that's why English becomes very important. Yes, also the last point is that companies who want to function at an international level only consider their staff well educated if they are good English speakers, writers, and readers. Means if you are having the skills of speaking, okay, English speaking, then writing, if you are good at writing also, and if you are a good reader of English, then it will give you a benefit to get a job in MNCs or IT companies. Okay, so if you want to function at an international level company, then that company will only consider their staff well educated, as well as they will hire you if you are good English speakers, writers, and readers. So this is the next that point, travel and business, that we have studied. The next slide is about the resources make learning English easy. So learning English has become nowadays easy job. Okay, not that much difficult job if you want to learn it from your mind. Okay, इंग्लिश शिकणं आता काही पहिल्यासारखं अवघड राहिलेलं नाहीये बिकॉज you can access international level material, okay, international level material regarding the communication, different books, okay. There are millions of resources you will find on internet itself, okay. Internet itself, on the YouTube itself, you will find millions of videos are there which will teach you how to learn this language, how to speak with this language, how to learn English speaking. So resources make that easy, okay. So the first point in this slide is, many people although think that it is very difficult, confusing language. English is actually the easiest language in the world to learn because there are so many resources available. See this point. So many of you might be thinking that this language is very difficult, or this language cannot be spoken because the difficulty of this language is more. But it's not the actual situation, or this is not the right point or right opinion, okay. Because though some of the words are very difficult, and some of the words or phrases in English are also confusing, the learning of this language is the easiest task, okay. And with the help of the resources, means what? Resources that you can find on the internet itself, you will see that the preparation regarding learning this language has become easy, okay. So resources are making this language to learn in the easy aspect, okay. So there are many resources you can find on internet itself, okay, for learning this language. And that's why this is the very important point, that resources make learning English easy, okay. So this is the first point. It is almost 2:54. So let's first take the attendance, and then we will, if time permits, we will discuss the next. So first, give me your attendance, okay. I'm going to take a roll call, so please reply. Yes, please give the attendance. Roll number 1, 2. Roll number 2, 3,
Present, sir.
4,
Present, sir.
5,
Present.
6,
Present.
7,
Present, sir.
8.
Present.
Yes. 9,
Present, sir.
10. Roll number 10. 10 is absent. 11.
Present, sir. 10 present.
10 is present, no? Okay. 10 is present. Roll number 11. Roll number 11. 12.
Yes, sir.
13. Roll number 13. 14.
Present, sir.
15.
Present, sir.
16.
Present, sir.
17. Roll number 17. 18.
Yes, sir.
19. Roll number 19, 20,
Present, sir.
21. Roll number 21, 22, 22, 23,
Yes, sir.
24,
Yep.
25. Roll number 25, 26.
Yes, sir.
Roll number 26 is present. 27. Roll number 27, 28,
Present, sir.
29,
Present, sir.
30,
Present, sir.
31. Roll number 31, 32,
Present, sir.
33,
Yes, sir.
34,
Present, sir.
35,
Present, sir.
36,
Present, sir.
37. Roll number 37, 38.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the absent roll numbers are roll number 1, 11, 17, 19, 21, 22, 25, 27, 31, and 37. These are the absent roll numbers. So if they are present, then they can tell their roll number. If not, then
Hello, sir.
yes,
Roll number 13 is present.
roll number
13.
roll number 13. एक मिनिट. श्रेया का श्रेया
Yes, sir.
36 present, sir.
काय म्हणतोय परत एकदा सांगा किती
36 present, sir. 36.
36. Yes, I have put your attendance. तुमची मार्क केलेली आहे. Yes, so it's almost 3 o'clock. Okay, so roll number 2 is present. Yes, I have marked your attendance.
पूर्ण सॉल्व करतात ना तर शेअर नका करू आयतं देऊ नका त्यांना त्याला तुम्ही समजून सांगा असं असं करा म्हणून.
Okay, so shall we stop here? Roll number 8 is present. Yes, I have marked. And whatever is taught here, is it understood? समजते का हे?
Yes, sir.
जर समजत नसेल तरीही सांगा. ओके, काय प्रॉब्लेम येत असेल तर तरीही सांगा. ओके, but you will have to learn at least you will be able to speak with this language when you enter in the third year. Okay, why? Because in the third year, in the first semester of the third year, the company recruitments or the training and placement cell, it gets activated and you will have to means prepare. You will be you should be prepared for that also. Okay, so that's why at least start this speaking or start communication within your family itself. Okay, तुमच्या फॅमिली मध्ये सुद्धा तुम्ही एकमेकांशी इंग्लिश कम्युनिकेशन मध्ये स्टार्ट करा, बोलायचा प्रयत्न करा. ओके, दॅट विल मेक यू दॅट मीन्स परफेक्ट. ओके, त्याची प्रॅक्टिस केल्यानंतरच तुम्ही काय होऊ शकाल तर परफेक्ट होऊ शकाल. नोबडी कॅन स्पीक अ गुड इंग्लिश or nobody can speak 100% well or 100% good English. Why? Because everybody has its own study, everybody has its own mind, thoughts. Okay, so nobody is perfect in this earth, and that's why only you will have to make efforts to learn this language, to understand this language, to start speak this language with your family, your colleagues, your friends, and that will make you perfect after you will start communication in English. Okay, so that's why this subject has introduced for you people. Okay, so take benefit of it. Try to speak in English at your home, at your friend circle. Okay, and enhance your capabilities. So with this, I will end this meeting here itself. Thank you for joining this meeting. Okay, let's meet in the next lecture. Thank you.